morning to everyone. Let me add my welcome to all of you, to Mr. Karthikeyan, students, principals, teachers, parents who are assembled here for this youth summit. We saw an inspirational video, both celebrating the 70th year of our independence, as well as the ICT Academy video. Saw a lot of famous personalities there, all of whom I'm sure you all recognized, starting from political leaders, to engineers, to scientists, to achievers in the fields of sports, and so on. All these people accomplished what they accomplished because they had two very, very important things. First and foremost, they had a certain aspiration, a certain ambition, something to accomplish, a purpose in life, to be known for something. That is a clear and a key ingredient for success. Forget about whether you have the capability or the system or the environment provides the support for you to accomplish. But that dream, that desire, that aspiration is the most important thing. India as a country is still a developing country, but in the area of space research, in the area of satellite launches, we are among the top 3 countries globally. Clearly, we do not have the resources that the other countries have, and yet we accomplished the Chandrayaan mission by a leader, none other than Mr. Annadurai, who hails from this part of the country. He is a person from Coimbatore, studied in a village, in a nearby village in Coimbatore, and went on to accomplish something that was extraordinary. There was that spark, that fire, that aspiration, that desire to accomplish something that made him accomplish it, immaterial of the lack of resources, support, environment, etc. And the second key ingredient is passion. Passion to pursue what you have decided to pursue. Passion to win. Sachin Tendulkar is the greatest cricketer because he pursued that with passion. P.V. Sindhu accomplished the unaccomplishable because she pursued that sport with passion. If you have the determination, the passion, and the aspiration, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. But what is it that we require? What is the state of the country, the state of the world? Where are the opportunities? How do we go about dreaming and accomplishing something? In today's world, everything is being disrupted. When we say disrupted, things are not the way it was before. The countries that used to grow in terms of GDP or the growth of a country, the Western nations were growing faster, but today the Asian countries are growing faster than the rest of the world. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The dynamism, the economic dynamism is shifting to this part of the world. We have the largest percentage of population in the productive age group called the youth. That's the single most important factor that would influence India emerging as a superpower. And add to it the prowess that we have in technology, which is the biggest disruptor. We have all the key ingredients that very few other countries have in order to succeed. And just that provides a tremendous number of opportunities for all of us here, particularly the youth. The disruption that is being brought about by technology, where we are among the leaders in the areas of technology. The number of youth that we have in this country who will all be in great demand all over the world, provided we are educated and skilled. And three, most importantly, we are in that part of the world where the economic growth is the highest, which is the Asian continent. All the stars are aligned for us to succeed. And for that to happen in this technology disrupted world, digital literacy is one of the most important things. All along we used to talk about literacy in terms of reading, in terms of writing, arithmetic, mathematics, communication, etc., etc. Those are basic requirements that have to be taken for granted, that we have to assume that every single citizen in this country possesses. So that's the basic level of literacy. And the type of literacy that is going to be required in the future on the part of every citizen is what we call the digital literacy. To be comfortable in this new digital world, in this electronic world, which is transforming rapidly into technology making us more and more productive, technology coming up with newer services, newer opportunities, newer innovations, etc. And unless we get comfortable with technology, it will be very difficult to survive and succeed in this world. And today, the digital technology is not only for the technologists, it is for every single citizen. Every single citizen who has an Aadhaar card, who claims to be the citizen of this country, will have so many of the products and services delivered through these digital devices. There are two categories. One set is you're the users of all the digital products and services, ordinary users, which all the citizens in this country are, all of us are users of all these digital services. And there is a separate group which creates all these digital products and services. Not all the people participate, or not all of them have the opportunity to participate in creating these digital services and products. Very few of them. And you, the educated youth, whether you are in the arts discipline or the commerce discipline or the science discipline or the medical discipline, you are the people who are creating this new digital world. You're transforming the current world into a digital world. That transformation depends on youth like you. So in addition to being digitally literate, you have to become digital experts in order to contribute to the disruption that's happening all around. I mean, I don't have to go into the details and examples of the type of disruption that is taking place based on technology. The cab services are changing. Okay? I'll just give you two examples. We've all been talking about GST, the Goods and Services Tax, a bill that was passed recently, which will ensure that all the products and services are taxed uniformly throughout the country, immaterial of the source of manufacturing or source of origin. Okay. Free movement of goods. This factor alone is going to create a single market in India. You know, we talk about globalization. What is globalization? Globalization is just a free movement of goods, free movement of finance or capital from any part of the world to any other part of the world where it is required. Free movement of talent. People can move from any country to any other country. Of course, there are some restrictions, but gradually those things are going up. So there is free movement of ideas. Ideas today that occur to any of you could simultaneously occur to 100 other people in different parts of the world. An idea that occurs to you, you want to share it immediately. When you share it, it reaches almost 6 billion people all over the world, thanks to digital technology. So there is free movement of goods, services, capital, ideas, talent, everything. And yet within India, we were constrained by state-level borders, which is something that is going to go away in a gradual manner. And one such step is the uniform taxation. What will be the impact of that? And the next idea that people are working on is the motor vehicles. The scooters, the two-wheelers, the cars, the light commercial vehicles, the transport trucks that we use. They are registered in one state, but they are constrained to transport or to travel to other states unless you either register it again or pay a certain penalty. That's the next thing that's going to go away. Register once, drive anywhere in this country. Free movement of vehicular traffic, free movement of goods and services, etc. These are very, very important disruptive things that are taking place that unite India as a whole. The first, the telecom revolution, the cellular technology united India. We could communicate with anyone, anywhere within this country for the same nominal charge, brought about total integration. The Aadhaar card brought about another significant improvement, again driven by technology, to identify everyone and anyone in this country as an Indian citizen and provide those services. It's the e-commerce and technology that allowed a person sitting in a village to order any product manufactured anywhere to be delivered at his doorstep. And the next stage will be free movement of these goods, people, vehicles, bring about a unified approach to a huge market. And to serve this unified market, there are people waiting, people particularly outside the country are waiting to come and serve this market. And that's a big opportunity for us. Whether you get into a retail store and work in a retail store as a clerk, or you work in the logistics industry, or you work in a computer software company, or you work for Facebook or Google or any of those companies here, the important thing is to be thinking about a free market, a single market, digital technologies, and passionately pursue learning those digital technologies. And the last point that I want to make is about the summit itself. In addition to the several programs that the ICT Academy conducts in terms of training the faculty, bringing the latest in technology to the various colleges that are members of the ICT Academy, and making sure that the curriculum is current and we are prepared for the next several generations, we also have a very important element which is about communication. We may have fantastic ideas. We may think about so many different things, but unless we share it with our team, debate that idea, talk about these ideas in an open forum, it will be very difficult for them to bloom into a big flower. That seed of an idea may be in the minds of every single one of you. For it to bloom and flourish, you need a team to work on that. Teams require communication. And if you want to succeed, if you want to sell your products, you need to communicate. You have to convey a message. Create a brand. A brand should stand for something, it should communicate. Communication is so important because that really tells you whether your mind is thinking. If you have a good thought process going, communication will be automatic. It's not so much about the language. Language comes much later. You should have the ability to think, to question, to disrupt, to think of alternatives, and share those ideas, challenge the ideas that are presented by other people, etc., in a meaningful, constructive way. For that, language and communication is extremely important. Whether you challenge an idea in Tamil or Telugu or Hindi or Kannada just doesn't really matter. You have to have that ability to begin with. Once you have that ability, then you will interact with a cross-section of people. The initial challenge may be in your school, interacting with your school friends. Then you get on to the college, and then get on to some other place. In the school, when you interact with your teachers or the students, your mother tongue is good enough. You can communicate effectively, share your ideas. But when you start interacting at a college level, where you're interacting with students from other states, students with different mother tongue, you have to understand more languages or get to a common language. And the common language in this global world has been accepted as English, which is the reason why ICT Academy every year conducts this youth summit in order to encourage people to think and communicate their ideas as part of the leadership development in presentation as well as in talk. Share the ideas, be questioned, answer those questions. And this has been a very, very powerful program to open the minds of people in all these colleges to say, we are not talking just about language. We are talking about communication. We are talking about messaging. We are talking about what's happening. Unless you have those ideas, unless you keep constantly thinking, it cannot be articulated in terms of words. So thinking is the first important thing, and then communication. And this is one platform that we believe in ICT Academy has accomplished tremendous success in terms of opening the eyes of the youth in this state particularly to the opportunities that are available, provided you're able to think, you have an aspiration, you pursue something with passion, and you're able to communicate those ideas passionately in a common language, which is English. I'm extremely happy that this year, more than 25,000 students participated in this competition down to various stages, and now we have something like 15 or 20 finalists drawn and reduced to about 6, and you will have the opportunity to listen to all those 6 people today. Thank you very much for all the students for participating and making this a success, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.